Okay. Hello guys, my name is Lars and I'm one of the artists at Retrogene Studio. I'm going to show you today how to make a tileable texture real fast. Without further ado, let's just get started. I'm working with a 1024 by 1024 canvas. I like that size. I've never really needed any more. You might disagree, but for my purpose, that's all I need. I like to use the opacity pen or controlling the opacity with my pen pressure. If you don't have a tablet, you'll have to find a way to work around that. The first thing I want to do is just okay. First of all, I need to know what kind of texture I'm making. So for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm just going to create a tiled tiled rock kind of texture. So the first thing I do is that I just draw out my rocks, and I'm not being too careful right now with how I place them, because I'm going to show you something that is really nice for creating tileable textures, and that is something called the offset tool in Photoshop. And what it does is, well, I'll show you in a second. You find it under filter and other, then offset, and as you can see, as I apply that, you can just move everything along the X and Y axis. And what that helps you to do is just identifying where you're having issues. And as you can see, there is a lot of issues going on there. There seems to be like no rock consistency here at all. So that just shows you what it does real fast. So one way I like to work with tile texture is that I just I draw one rock, and then I hold in shift and create a line across, so I know where approximately the rock will continue on the other side, and then I just go like that and create something that works. And then I do the same thing here and same thing here, and see if that lines up. Well, that I can fix that later. Then I create some other rocks. Some very simple shapes. Let's see. There. Where does that come down? See there? Okay. And that's a really ugly rock, but so now I can use the offset tool and just fix all of the issues that I'm having. Like you can see down here that I'm having an issue with the lines there, and it's not really necessary to be very careful at this moment, because you're kind of experimenting with shapes and all of that and making it work. So at this point, you'll just start shading it really, and I never really worked on many layers. So what the first thing I do is that I create a dark gray layer. If I'm working in grayscale, that's what I'll do. If not, if I'm working with colors, I'll just use a very dark version of that color, maybe with a little bit of purple in it, but that really depends on what kind of color I'm using. And then, not having any softness on, I reduce the opacity. And some really handy keyboard shortcuts that might be handy to know about is the X button, which lets you swap between the two colors that you've chosen. And if you use the numbers on top of your keyboard, you can change the opacity. So 1 is 10, 3 is 30, and so on and so on. So right now I'm just going in here and shading and putting in all of the lighting as well. I'm just going to color one rock, and then I'm going to end this video. So now I'm just putting in some very rough surface detail, just to bring out some details that I can work with, and that will eventually become like inconsistencies in the rock, because I don't want it to be like a perfectly flat rock. And then I create some just damaged areas like this, I know this is not gonna look really nice because I'm doing this really fast now. Or not really that fast, but you get what I mean. It's I'm not being too careful. I am going to show you like a full texture sped up that I'm creating at the end of this video. So if you want to stay and watch that to the end, you're free to do that. If not, if you've come and you've seen what you need to see, you're free to go. So yeah, this is basically how I work, and these white lines that I created are kind of like the highlights of the most extreme angles and edges of the rock. Uh, and of course, highlights and shading and things like that is not something you would normally do for a texture or a diffuse texture, but it is something that I want for my painted textures, like painterly, nice looking textures, kind of like World of Warcraft, the Torchlight, and games like that. So that's basically it. That's not a very pretty rock. It's got a really strange shape to it, but if you want to check out the a proper texture that I created, just stay to the end of this video and watch that sped up footage. It'll only take you about a couple of minutes, if not less. So that's about it, and if you want to learn more, I will post some more videos, tips and tricks on things related to texturing or other game art related things. And if you want to check out our game studio, you're free to do that. There will be a link in the description and as well at the end of the video, so be sure to check that out, and yeah, see ya.